Okay, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. How is everyone today? Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit here on Saturday. I know that you've got any number of other things you could be doing. If my words would work, this would go better. Yeah, hi. Hi, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. We've got Zero Linux, we've got Izzy, we've got Darian Shoughton, we've got Quiet Association, Thomas W., and James Collins. We've got Jason Budney. Thank you guys for jumping into the chat and saying hi. Really appreciate that. I'm gonna start this very quickly here by saying I don't know how long we're gonna be here today. Woke up yesterday morning with a bit of a sore throat, so cough drops are going to be my friend at least for a little bit here. We're going to do what we can, or until my throat gives out, whichever happens first. So, Jason Budney, we've got Smile Relax, we got 12 Acorns. Thank you guys all for stopping by to say hi for a little bit. Really appreciate you guys stopping and hanging out. Really do appreciate that. This all just kind of, I was very behind this morning. So, I just got the TV back online. Jan, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Great way to start out the stream. Super appreciate that. Thomas says tea with honey. That is, I've actually got tea here. This is iced tea. Tea with honey is coming here in about an hour and a half or so. I don't know if I can do this. The cough drop. I have to figure out something else there. Because that's really hard to talk around, and that's what we're here for. I'm going to deal with that later. I'm feeling okay for right now. Colin says, we got you. Short stream, long stream. Just take care of yourself. Thank you. Appreciate that. Change of seasons is always fun on the body, bro. Yeah. And when you've got a kid whose thought on hygiene is non-existent, who likes to just touch everything. Yeah, it's brutal. And then my immune system is jacked. So it's a great combination of things. But we're gonna hang out at least for a little bit. And I'm gonna be shocked if I don't end up sick with all the people. Oh yeah, you went to Comic-Con yesterday. Yeah, I will be shocked if you don't get sick as well. And then of course you've got kids and who go to school, and your wife is an educator. Yeah, no, I wish you all the best in the world. Izzy says, can you please test Docker Aggregar? I can't. I can't because YouTube is stupid, and the people behind YouTube are equally stupid, and they will flag the video as what they call it, dangerous behavior or something. They will absolutely misinterpret the software that I talk about with regards to that kind of thing. Several people have had it happen, myself included. Yeah, the community, they really are community strike targets. So there's a ton of videos that I really want to make. And the only way I can even moderately feel safe making those videos is to put them on a third-party platform like Plex, Patreon. Jeez, but I don't want people to feel like the content is. I don't want people to feel like the content is being gate kept. Or what's the basically? Paywalled is the word I'm looking for. I don't want people to think that I'm trying to paywall my content by putting it on a platform like that. I have put content over on platforms like Odyssey, and that one's fine. But it's harder to do that kind of thing in my own brain. So. Luke Pryor says, hey, how are you? Do you still use Pangolin? I do. The problem is I don't remember which sites I've got on Pangolin because it just works, and I've got things split across 2 different platforms. And yeah, so I gotta figure something out there as far as how I want, or I gotta figure out, do I want to keep using Pangolin because it's a great product? Like I actually liked it so much, I paid for a license. It's unnecessary, but it's just a way to support the developers. So I've done that, and I don't know if I want to keep using it or if I want to move everything back over to Cloudflare Tunnels, because I do have it split across those 2 platforms. And they both work really well for my needs and that sort of thing. A while back, Zero, and that's kind of my point, Zero Linux, is I don't know which way I want to go. And a while back, I want to say the other day, because I don't remember how long ago it was, I was on Reddit, and people were having a conversation about getting rid of Cloudflare Tunnels to go to their own. I think, in fact, it might have even been Pangolin that they were switching over to. And somebody's like, "Why would you do that? Like, there's absolutely no way that your VPS can withstand a DDoS scenario like Cloudflare can. You don't have the ability to be as on top of things as Cloudflare's automated systems have with tunnels and that sort of thing." And they're right. They're absolutely right. There's no way that my VPS could do that. So I don't know. We'll have to see what I end up doing. I haven't made a decision one way or the other, but there's a really good chance that I will likely go over to back to Cloudflare Tunnels. Not because I dislike Pangolin. I like it a lot. I think it's very, very cool. But but it's one less thing in the back of my brain that I've got to worry about, you know? So anyway, let's see. You don't want to pay well content. Niche Monk says hi from Germany. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. That's why you need an alternate place to view content like that. Yeah. And like I said, I've done some on like Odyssey. I had a Rumble account for a while. But I didn't really want to be associated with Rumble. So right now I don't really have many options that I'm comfortable with. Isam says hi from Istanbul. Glad to catch you live. Well, I'm glad you did too. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Zanambi, I think I got that right. Zanambi says hi DB. Hope all is well. Well, thank you. I hope you're doing well also. Thomas W says, my son works for a virtual YouTuber and had to go to as Pikachu and do stupid stuff as a remote for his YouTuber. Wow, that's crazy. I can't imagine. But I mean, it's not really. It's a little different, but it's not. So I'm sure this happens in other places, but like when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, the supermarkets would have like mascots come in, kind of like sports mascots, but they were for the store or for a brand or something. And I guess it would be kind of like that. But if you're at Comic-Con or something, it would be more people. But you're in a suit, so nobody knows who you are unless you tell them. So I don't know. I've always wondered if I could do that. My wife did that for a while when we were kids at a supermarket. And she had fun with it, but I don't know that I would. Sparky says hi from Belgium. Good morning to you. Good evening for me. It's 6 p.m. here. Like your lives. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just now 10 o'clock in the morning here in Colorado. And yeah, it's supposed to be really nice today. We'll see how that plays out. I've got a bunch of stuff that I want to get done out in excuse me, out in the backyard. Let me see if I can find. There was something I wanted to share with you guys. Oh man, something fun has been happening lately, and I want to see if I can share some of it with you. So many cosplayers I can't imagine the cosplayers. Like I can't imagine how, I mean, that's the point, right? Is to go be the characters that you love. It's to go, do that thing. And I think that's cool. And impressively well done. I've seen some videos of people doing their cosplay, costume design and building and that sort of thing. And some of them are just insane. I would like to go just to see that. Like I'm not into that scene, but just to see the costumes and that sort of thing, I think would be a lot of fun. Your oldest wants to dress up next year. That's very cool. Box Note says hi from Italy. Raps Calorie says howdy from Noon in Virginia. Outstanding. Zero Linux says next time I see you live will be from Serbia. Traveling tomorrow to get my mental health taken care of. Dude, that's great. I'm glad you got that sorted. Darian says I have to run. I just wanted to personally thank you. I've learned everything I know about Docker and Portainer from your YouTube channel. I referred many to this channel, will continue to. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. A happy Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. Well, enjoy that. Ours is next month. Yeah. So, Artist Alley was absolutely incredible. Even saw, I don't know who that is. I feel like I should know who that is. Saw Rob Eifeld. He looks really familiar. Oh, he's a comic book creator. That explains why. That's very cool. Oh, he was the creator of Deadpool. Okay. I was like that. It seems like, but no, that makes. Thank you for clarifying, Collins. Can you use Twitch to park a video that might not be acceptable on YouTube? Maybe. I'd have to think about how that might work. I know I can upload VODs. I don't know. I have to take a look at that. Question sent to wipe my homelab PC. Can I use a Pi 4 for image? I don't know if it would be powerful enough. Like genuinely, like some people pass GPUs through to their image instances to help process stuff. I can't. Man, it might be. You could try it, but I don't know if I would get my hopes up too much. But again, I say that as somebody who's never actually used image for anything other than making a really crap video years ago about it. Very cool. So, all right. So I just want to share this with you guys because this happened to me this morning. I got up this morning and I was grabbing coffee, and then I looked at the camera feed into the backyard because I saw motion, and we've got a new raccoon friend, and this is Marshmallow. I wanted to share this with you, and this is not our first interaction, but he's been coming around for a few weeks now, and he's very punctual. Like 6:30, 6:45 every evening, he comes by. I was messing with him a little bit there. I was holding on to it tighter than I probably should have, but I've also got this one. This was a little earlier. This is him just sniffing my finger. If not friend, why friendship? Right. We actually, so a few years ago, we had a family of 5 that would come and hang out with us almost every night. And I'm wondering if this is one of the babies, because we think they got relocated. But we're wondering if this isn't one of the babies who has found his way back. But he's been very fun. He's been, I don't know if I've got, I don't have the footage over here for that, but he's getting to the point where he'll come up to me like you saw, and before those videos, he actually like grabbed my fingers with his little paws, and it was very fun. I really enjoy hanging out with the raccoons. What does Proxmox have against ARM support? I think it's just ARM is such a limited platform with regards to like cores and power and that sort of thing. And I think that most people who are going to be using something like Proxmox are looking for more power than that. You might, though, look at something like Pimox. Basically, it is Proxmox V7 for Raspberry Pi. That said, it looks like maybe it hasn't been updated in a while. That's Pimox 7. Let's see if there's a different version of Pimox. And there's not. The last update was January 8th of 2024. So you may take a look at Pimox. That might be an option for you. But I would temper your expectations of it with ARM processors typically having like 4 cores, 4 threads. You're going to get like 8 gigs of RAM, depending on what you're doing there. And so I would definitely take a look at possibly look at Pimox. That might work, but again, make sure to temper your expectations just due to the restrictions of ARM processors. Yours has 4 gigs of RAM. Yeah, so then you've also got to take into consideration things like how much storage do you plan on having, and what file system are you going to use? Because if you try to throw a ZFS at that, you're going to run out of memory really quick. So you might not be able to use a ZFS file system for that. Lots of things to consider when you're dealing with a Raspberry Pi, unfortunately. And I know you're trying to make the best of a bad, or not necessarily, I don't say a bad situation, I apologize for that. You're trying to make the best of the situation that you're in. And I'm not sure that the Raspberry Pi is going to be great for running that, even with Pimox. An N100 PC. Yeah, like the rack that I've got back here actually had, in fact, I can show you, I just took it apart the other day, and I was going through some stuff. I often forget you guys can still hear me because I've got this wireless microphone on. This was my test server for, gosh, I don't know, a couple of years, and it's, what does it have in it? Alder Lake N100, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigs of hard drive space. I think I threw some other stuff in there for hard drive, but that was my testing server for Proxmox. Most of the videos that you've seen over the last couple of years, where I was dealing with setting something up in a Proxmox environment for testing, was 100% on an N100. There you go, just ext with Debian server headless. Then why not just go Debian server headless on there instead? I guess would be my question. Why add the extra layer to that if you're just going to throw Debian headless server on that? I guess that would be my question. But let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything there. Just a thought. Fair enough. Like, and that's cool. Like, I appreciate you bouncing that off the community here. Because it seems like that would just be extra overhead if you were to throw Proxmox into the mix there. I need to do that, or that's going to get weird. I have started working on something in the background that we've talked about a little bit. What is No? It's that one. Glenn says, I just stopped to say howdy before I get on the road. Well, be safe out there. There's a lot of dumb people behind the steering wheels. So be careful out there. There's too many dum-dums. Can I do that? There we go. Sort of. Let me get this set up. Oh, no, it's not going to happen. So last week we spent a little bit of time talking about mini racks. I'm going to do that. There we go. Hey, check that out. So my desk is a giant mess right now, but I've been printing rails. I've got this set up for my pass-through. I've got this printed for my switch. This was such a satisfying click when I put this together. I actually want to, gosh, I don't even know if I can take it apart. That's crazy. Oh, it's got to go that way. I'm nuts. What are you doing here? No, come on. Wow, that is, there we go. Right, so it just, like, it fits so well in there, but like it's just such a satisfying click when that goes together. So I've got that printed. Like I said, I've got my pass-through for my keystones printed. I've got some legs. I realized that these aren't going to be enough. So I printed some extenders so that I can make it taller. And hopefully that will work. It's going to be quite a bit bigger than I anticipated, but they're calling this a 6U, and it is absolutely not. This is a 4U with a top and bottom. So I've added two. There's separate connectors here that I need to print still, and then I've got these that will go around this way, and we'll create. Basically, we'll create the frame to hold it all together. So I've been working on that the last couple of days, and I'm really excited to start putting that together. And then right, you know what? We're just gonna come back over here for a minute because I'm really excited about some of this. Oh, that's not what I meant to show you at all. Let's do that. There we go. There wasn't anything important on that anyway. I'm really happy with the way the print has come out. I'm running this on a Creality K1 Max. So anyway, I got these square nuts, and they're supposed to go in. Oh, those go in there really well. Gosh, that felt really good. And then that felt really good. Interesting. Okay. I just want to put this together because the screws that they talked about in the official documentation, they're M6 by 12 screws, and the ones that were in there, I wasn't super happy with, mostly because of the color was fine, but I couldn't get what I wanted in a timely fashion. So instead of going with the screws that it suggested, I found some different M6 by 12 screws that I think are going to look really good. I feel like I'm going to have to that sounds really good. I feel like I'm going to have to, I was afraid of that, glue these in. Yeah, those are just going to fall out. That sucks. Anyway, instead of going with the chrome, or the stainless screws or whatever, I'm going with black screws. And I think that's really going to make it look really good. I'm really excited about using the black screws there instead of the stainless screws that would match these. I think that's going to look really good in contrast. And then for the pieces that that will connect these together, and the will connect here to here where my thumbs are, as well as the the trays and that sort of thing. A lot of that's going to get printed in black, so it's going to be a black and white theme. I'm excited about that. I may have to reprint a couple of things, but it is what it is, as they say. So I'm excited about all of that. Lots of stuff going on there. Let's see. Going back, Flameberg says, "Oh man, playing Battlefield 6. I hope you're having fun with that. Missed the start of the stream. We've just been chatting, so not a big deal. What new containers are you exploring? I don't know yet. We haven't got that far. I'm thinking of using Portainer and Cloudflare for exposing image and Bitwarden. Yeah, that sounds great. I would absolutely go that route. I'm a big fan of everything in that sentence. Josh says, hello, multitasking with college football Saturday. I'm also going to dip my toes into the VPS waters. Well, if you, for whatever reason, want to use my affiliate link to test those affiliate waters or those VPS waters, have at. That'd be cool. You'll have a gorgeous little rack in no time, DB. I'm hoping so. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And my printer is I love my printer. Creality sent it to me December of 23, and I spent January of 24 in the hospital, so I never actually had a chance to make the video for them that I wanted to, and I actually really feel bad about that. But I want to see if I can find a video that that I did the other day. Oh, come on, where is it? It's going to be there. It's going to be there. Collins, thank you for sharing that in Docker, or in Discord. Man, I'm reading words on the screen and it's just, they're coming out of my mouth here. Where? Yeah, here we go. So this is just in Discord. I'll share this over here real quick so that you can see. This isn't sped up or anything. Like the Creality K1s are just like, it's putting down a ring, and like it shakes. It goes so fast when it's printing, and that, like, it just, this isn't sped up. This is just, it prints so fast. I need to figure a way to like secure it better, because it rocks the whole thing when it starts printing super fast like that. So spent the last week building a mini rack Proxmox server to run TDAR node mostly. Got the GeekPy rack. That's cool. I really want to set up a TDAR setup. I don't know. I don't know. I tried actually for a while to get a TDAR instance set up and running, and it didn't make sense. I didn't understand the settings. I tried looking at other creators' content about it. Techno Tim's got a really popular video on it, but he just kind of explains what he did, not how he did it. And so this, like, he didn't really go into the settings, and it didn't make any sense for me. And I'd really like to get some of that configured or set up. Did a headrest insert to my motherboard tray. That's cool. ADHD Arts and Entertainment is here. Jason Budney says Stormtrooper look. Kinda, not intentionally, but kinda, yeah. Gotta run. All right, 12 Acorns. Thanks for hanging out. Got to get up to Salt Lake City so I can head east, deliver in Denver on Monday morning. I was just in Denver not too long ago. I actually really like it up there. Hello from Oklahoma. Hope all is well. Things are going really well. Thanks for asking. Hope you're doing well also, Keith. Any that have tried PVE scripts local? I don't know that I've heard of that. I'm gonna pop that open and take a look. It's PVE scripts local. There we go. Oh, just the helper scripts? Yeah, we've taken a look at helper scripts before. In fact, we set up my current test server on Proxmox using helper scripts. So those links we'll use. Not sure what setup I need. It'll probably primarily be for Pangolin and NAN. I have a 2 gig at home, so I'd like to use something that'll route traffic to my home lab with good speeds. I've had really good luck with my setup. Now that said, I've also got like a 4 gig VPS over there at RackNerd. You don't need that much, but it's what I had available, and I was like, screw it, I'll have to take a look at that or use that. And so I did, and it's been great. ADHD Arts and Entertainment says, hey DB, well, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you being here. Space Invader 1 has an old TDAR video. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Because that's been an issue that I've been wanting to resolve for a while. Like, I moved a bunch of stuff around. I've got to I need to get some different versions of some of my ISOs, just for better quality and that sort of thing. But the problem is that a lot of the really good quality ones that I want for like different reasons are, you know, anywhere from 8 to 40 gigs, and I don't want to do that. So you have to take a look at that, because I'd really like to use TDAR to clean some things up. Just got my new cables from Cat 5e to 6 and running everything through my new Cloud Ultra Gateway. That's very cool. I actually want to get into creating my own cables. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think I created a cable once when I went to ITT Tech, but that was 2002. So it's been a while, and I should get back into that, because I think that'd be a lot of fun. So hello from The Hague, Holland. That's cool. Hi, thanks for stopping by. I know you did a video on Zeraxi. They currently have a pre-release after sitting dormant for a while. It's 326. That's cool. And we actually did a live stream of Zeraxi, and I keep meaning to do like a dedicated video on Zeraxi, but I just haven't. I have Unmanic installed in an N200 PC. I have it configured, but I have yet to release it to making changes. Yeah, I'd be curious. I'd be curious about the difference between TDAR and Unmanic, and which one is easier to use. Because I mean, ideally, I'd like to convert everything to H.265 just for the better compression. But I don't know what that would look like from the standpoint of GPU, as far as what I would need for a GPU to make that feasible. You know, if I needed to, I could spin the HL15 back up. I've got a 2070 in there. I could probably use that. But I don't know. Unmanic is plug-in driven. It seems pretty easy. Yeah, I might have to take a look at that, because I want to do something to maintain some consistency across everything. I just haven't taken the time. I've been really busy. I'm working on like at least 2 different videos right now, a couple of sponsored videos behind the scenes, and then and I don't know if this rack is going to turn into a video or not, but you know, maybe we'll see. I still use H.264, still better compatibility overall. It's true, I agree with that. But you know, I think from my experience with my current setup, I've done obviously H.264. H.265 works just as well. I don't ever really see any transcoding going on with H.265, unless it's like transcoding from like 4K to 1080p or 720 or something. But that doesn't happen very often. So I don't know. Nelson says, hey, I caught you live again. You reviewed a self-hosted marketing newsletter app such as Mautic. Never heard of Mautic. I don't know what that is. Open source marketing automation. I think the problem with that, with something like this, we can jump over here real quick and take a look. Mautic, open source marketing automation software. All kinds of files in here. Upgrade stuff. World's largest open source marketing automation project. We empower businesses and organizations to deliver fully integrated marketing campaigns by providing powerful world-class open source marketing automation software by supporting a thriving worldwide community of passionate contributors. Our vision is the most privacy-focused, accessible, and extendable marketing automation product on the market, giving everyone the power to understand, manage, and grow their business or organization while respecting and safeguarding the privacy of their end users. It's open source, it's free to use, no strings attached. Doesn't rely on third-party SaaS, run your own marketing automation, use your own database, your own data, no vendor lock-in, create any integrations you need, build stronger campaigns without feature. I think the issue that I would see with this, if I'm being honest, would be email. Okay, no, I don't give you consent for anything, which I appreciate they let me do that. Because I feel like with something like this, you're going to have an email server somewhere. And depending on who your email provider is, you may get restricted in how much email you can send. So I guess there are email platforms. I mean, I guess you could, but you'd still need an email provider, I think, for something like this. I think the problem is I think it's such a niche product that I don't know how it would do, and that's one of the things that I have to consider when I make a video. Is like what's the likelihood of it having any traction? I could probably spin it the same way I did with other things. Maybe I'll have to think about it. Vaz says, "Did I miss anything?" Not really. We're just hanging out, chatting. I showed a little bit of the 3D print stuff I've been working on over the past couple of days for a little mini rack. Really happy with how the prints are coming out, but I still got some prints to do. Been chatting about different things. I think my plan now that Plex is running on the Arc is H265. If anything needs to be transcoded, let it fly. Yeah, take the storage savings over the GPCP cost doing more work. Right, and that's kind of where I am. My media is taking up about just under 11 terabytes right now. So if I could shrink that down, save a bit of space, I'd like to do that. Do you have any apps running on Kubernetes? I do not. I don't do anything orchestrated really. Like I've got some automation stuff set up for like Ansible. I've got Ansible set up, but it's not working. Like that's the closest thing to orchestration that I have, and it's just for automating certain updates. Keith says, "What does everyone think of the Radeon Pro WX series for transcodings? Maybe a small AI LLM." I don't know. I don't have a Radeon Pro WX. I would have to. Let me see. Ooh, those are 4 gig cards. I guess there's an 8 gig card. It's not bad for price. The problem is I don't know that you're gonna have a lot of luck based on my experience. You're gonna have a lot of luck with AI on those cards. What's the easiest way to just one-click this stuff? I'd love to convert all my media to just use one format and reduce size. Yeah, that's kind of where I am, man. That's what I would like to do as well. I'd like to keep everything the way it is, but just reduce the size a little bit. Got a long way to beat my 68 terabytes. Yeah, I don't have 68 terabytes on a single device available. I think I've got, man, now that I think about it, 32 and 32. I think split across 3 devices, I've got like 90 terabytes of usable space. Well, no, 70, 75 or 80 maybe. But again, it's split across 3 different things, and I've got things kind of mirrored across there for some redundancy, some backup, that sort of thing. Personal life intervenes with having time for Kata. Yeah. I don't really think it's one clickable. I wish it was. I'd like to get 10% back of my current 92 terabytes. Jesus, dude. AMD always seems to be left out on the transcoding front. Yeah. I hope somebody fixes that soon. Just because, right? Like I feel like with the way AMD cards are going right now, and everybody, and them kind of mostly shifting gears to be on the not consumer side, on the commercial professional side or whatever for AI, it's unfortunate, and I think there's a long way to go with that, and that sucks. Do you use RAID for media storage? I do. I RAID all 3 of my all 3 of my instances of my media is on a RAID Z1, and so I've got one there, and one farther down that I keep everything in 3 locations just in case. I'm switching from trashy Plex to Jellyfin when I get back from my trip. You know, I've looked at Jellyfin. I haven't been impressed with it. I've been a big fan of Plex for a while. I used MB for a while, loved that, and then switched to Plex when I started having a bunch of issues with MB. I haven't had an issue with Plex since. In order for me to get, there were things about Plex I didn't like, but I was able to turn all that stuff off. Mirandi says, isn't it better to just grab the HEVC version and replace the current ones? It might be. It absolutely might be. The problem is there are certain TV shows that I've got that I don't think there's the high efficiency version of available. So those would need to be transcoded into a different container from H64 to H265, whatever. Yeah, so I've considered some of that, looking for the HEVC version of certain shows, because I've got some stuff in there that's just unnecessarily large, 12 gigs or something, which I know there are full rips that are 40 or 50 or 60 gigs, but I really feel like anything over about 4 or 5 gigs is just too much. And even that's questionable depending on the media. Everyone has to remember that when it comes to AMD versus NVIDIA, the budgets aren't even close. NVIDIA budgets / revenue are much greater than AMD's, and it allows NVIDIA R&D to focus more on that. Yeah, well, and with the money that they're getting from investors and that sort of thing, to continue their R&D so that they can continue to dominate in AI. I think AMD's got a huge opportunity here on the consumer side, but I think it's going to be a while. So, yeah, like I actually don't have anything AI running locally, I don't think. Like I had my little voice assistant thing running for a while, but even that's been shut down. The RX 7600 XT or whatever it was that I got for this thing, the AI home assistant thing, we looked at it a month or 2 ago. My wife is using that card on her new setup, and it's great for gaming with 16 gigs of VRAM. But like if you guys saw my recent video about like what I'm running for my home lab, I'm using an A310 from Intel for my transcoding. I've got an RTX 2070 handling transcoding here. I don't even know if it's doing anything, if I'm honest. Like it's doing something. The fans are spinning. Look at performance over here. But like 17% on this 2070 that's running for transcoding this live stream. I'm gonna move that out of the way so I quit hitting it. So it's just sitting back there chilling, not doing much of anything. My laptop has got an A3000 GPU in it. Which is 8 gigs. It's this. Not that it matters, but it's this. This is what's in my laptop, and it's great. It works really well. I've been doing some more gaming lately, just to like get away from tech and online and all that sort of thing. This is the one I've got. Works great. So I've been hearing that newer AMD CPU APUs are changing for the good with transcoding. I hope so. Using Apple for AI, but wondering about NVIDIA to speed up the interface a bit. I mean, I guess it depends on the apps that you're running and the required and the system requirements for those. I'd be curious about that too. That's too bright. Let's get rid of that. So I suppose let's jump over. Let's jump over and take a look at the Self-Host newsletter. Let's see. Looks like GitHub is migrating their infrastructure to Azure. I'm honestly surprised it took them this long. Let's see what else. Ethan did this over the last couple of weeks and changed up the self-hosted apps dashboard web page thing here. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. So like all of this stuff in the left column used to be up at the top, kind of in this dead space here. And now it's there. And Ethan actually reached out to both to me and Collins about this. And the sidebar is not floating. Like we'd talked, and it was like in the demo that he showed us, the sidebar floated, and now the sidebar doesn't float. I need to message him about that. That's interesting, because the sidebar floated the other day, and it should. Where did this? Oops. Let me come over to here. I'm going to message him real quick so I don't forget. Then sidebar isn't floating anymore. So yeah, I messaged Ethan to let him know. Rest Desk. Central works across pretty much all OSs. Another weak attempt for me to pitch you Homer Dashboard. I think it's just poor naming since they don't have anything to do with the R stack, and it's just a nice self-hosted dash for links. I feel like I've taken a look at it and I felt like it was fine. maybe I should give it another look. I feel like there was something about it that I wasn't a big fan of for some reason, and I don't remember what it was. So maybe I'll have to give it another look. No YAML configurations, easy and quick management with integrations. Yeah, maybe I'll have to give it another look, just because. Should be fine. All right. I will try to remember to give that another look here soon. But anyway, so this whole page here is what I was saying. It got a whole refresh as far as the aesthetic of it and that sort of thing. And I really like it. I think it looks great. Sorting is great. You can filter things here, tags. It's all there. But if you haven't seen the new layout for this, you should look at it. He did a really good job with it. Yeah, I've been using a homepage for a really long time. The problem with it is that I don't really use a homepage at all. Like, I have one set up. Like, when I open my browser, my homepage instance comes up. But, like, just to give you an idea, like, my Plex isn't set up and working anymore. My Uptime Kuma is hit and miss whether or not it works. Like, there's stuff in here, but it just sits here. Portainer, I've had nothing but issues with Portainer on my Synology for a while now. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe we just need to clean it up. But I haven't used a dashboard in so long. It's, like I said, it's there. I just don't actually ever use it. Let see, I'm looking here. Hold on, what have I missed? Peter says, greetings all. Trust everybody's having a marvelous Saturday. Doing pretty well, thanks. Hope you're also doing well. The devs are fantastic people in just the way they treated every Git issue I've raised so far. So there's definitely a loyalty bonus that they've earned, and that's 100%. I get that. Peter says Heimdall and Homer for me. I've used Heimdall. I've taken a look at several different dashboards over the years. There was another one that I had whose name escapes me at the moment, but I like the idea. I just can't really even force myself to use them other than making it like my default page when I open my browser. Like, aside from that, I give it no attention span at all. I've looked at Glance. Glance was great. I made a video about Glance. Let me see here. Can I just look up dashboard? Yeah, even over the last couple of years, we haven't even taken a look at all that many, like House. And I say that I looked up dashboard. That it could be other things in there as well. House, Dockbeat, Glance, Jump, My Homepage, Flame, Heimdall. Like, we've taken a look at a few over the years, but again, I can't bring myself to like use one consistently. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Developers of Tiny RSS abruptly announced that he's shuttering the project and marking its forums read only. But contributors have already created a new homepage for the fork of the project. This is another one of those things that I need to start using more of, and that's an RSS reader. I feel like I would be better informed about what's going on in certain places if I were to use one of these, but I I've never really set one up and used it. The other problem is that like I will set one up and use it for a week, and then I will forget about it, or I'll get sidetracked or whatever. And then when I come back to it a month and a half later, it's so full of stuff, I just clear everything and forget about it and shut it down. So, but I feel like I really should make myself get into having an RSS reader. And I'm glad that while the domain developer, the primary developer, whatever, I'm glad that other people have picked it up to continue to develop it and maintain a fork of it. I think that's great. Overseer and Jellyseer went straight from dating to married as they announced they're merging into a single project named Seer. Media request and discovery management for Jellyfin, Plex, and MB. So that's kind of cool. Revolt chat misread users' feedback towards Portainer's purple rebranding and went all in on the color as the project name Stoat after receiving a cease and desist over using the word revolt. Wow. That's a lot. Long live Stoat. Wait, what was this? Oh, it's a chat. Interesting. I don't know that I ever used or heard of or used Revolt either. Open a web app. Did we ever talk about Revolt or Stoat? I mean, their website's interesting. I don't hate it. Huh. I don't think I know enough about this to have any opinion on it. Other downloads? What are other downloads? Mac, Windows, Linux, Android, source code. Maybe that's what I'm looking at. I think it was a self-hosted Discord-like chat. That's what I'm wondering. I would be, self-hosted. There we go. Deploy Stealth on your own infrastructure. Huh. Yeah, I might have to look at that too. I think having a self-hosted chat would be fun. Actual budget team shared their contribution reward program has been a success, and they'll be expanding it in the coming months. A new container update platform named Tugtainer made me regrettably aware of what Tug means in other parts of the world. We actually had this discussion in Discord yesterday. It's a terrible name. It's funny, and it will get some traction based on that. But I like the aesthetic of it. I think this is great. Currently, at the time of today, it is only available on a node by node basis. So you have to install those on each of your individual nodes. But they do have remote hosts via SSH tunneling or TLS in their to-do list. And I think when they do that, I will definitely be making a video on Tugtainer. So they're definitely working on it, and I appreciate that. You can see 18 hours ago, they were releasing updates on it. And I think this is great. There's been 11 releases. I think just in like the last 3 weeks or something. Oh, just in the last week. That's crazy. So anyway, they're working on it. I think it'll be very cool once they get multi-node stuff figured out. I'm super excited about that. But there's also some other cool stuff coming with this that they're working on again, and I'm excited to see where that goes. I think Tugtainer. I'm definitely curious about the name. It's like well-known Watchtower, but with a web UI where you can change most of the settings or view the current state of the containers. Please be aware that this application is distributed as is and is not recommended in a production environment. Automatic updates are disabled by default. You can choose only what you need. which I think is great. Again, it's just the name. The name for me is something. But they've got notifications built into here. Prune images you can do that. So I'm definitely excited about that one moving forward. Every dad needs a tug tainer to make his gorgeous rack look better. Just have to have some of that stuff that makes you giggle every day. Right? No, I get you. I get that. So yeah, no, I'm curious to see what happens with that as they work on that more. Python missed an opportunity to make a Python joke with its release of version 3.14. I saw that and had the same thought. It's kind of disappointed in them for that, but you know. Editors note the original version of this newsletter referenced some of the imagery that has historically brought controversy to the RSS community. I apologize for those offended. We'll commit to being more thoughtful when covering sensitive topics in the future. Huh. I don't know. Oh. Interesting. Well, we talked about that a little bit behind the scenes too, I think. Let's see. Redis warns of critical flaw impacting thousands of instances. Yay. New self-hosting email. Or self-hosting email like it's 1984. Don't want a self-host email. That sounds awful. Embed Ant albums. Security at the core. Stalwart completes second security audit. Stalwart Labs. Why self-host? Because, you know, I see this image right here. And I need to do this, right? Like I need to get a label maker is what I'm saying here so that I can label things to make my wife's life easier when something happens to me. I think this needs to be something on my to-do list. I need to get a label maker because I've always liked the idea of doing this, and then I've just never done it. Even though I've thought about it probably 1,000 times, I've just never done it, and I should. Do bezel. Yep, continuing to reward contributors. Actual budget documentation. That's cool. WireGuard topologies for self-hosting at home. That's cool. How much radiation can a Pi handle in space? Oh, from Crunch Labs. That's cool. Download all of your Getty data. Now you can request an archive of your data from your account settings page. That's cool. Let's see. Software updates. Coder. Wait, you're saying Nimbot label makers are nice, huh? Nimbot label maker. Really? Wow, really? Like smaller, lighter, but better. So you guys are talking about this one, because like that's an insane price for something like that. Like that's $18 for something for a label maker. That's insane. That's crazy. Got the recommendation from Tom Lawrence. That's really good to know. I didn't know that this was an option. That blows my gourd. $18 is just insane to me. And that's it, right? Just that and an app. I'd get one if I did that. Wow. Okay. Well, if Mrs. DB Tech is going to approve of this, it's going to have to be in that color. Like that's just gonna have to be a thing. Wait, and then actually I wanted to look at that too. Here's a Dymo label maker machine with tape. See, and I was actually thinking about, so the other day I came out here and like rearranged a bunch of wiring under my desk to clean it up a little bit. And I was thinking, man, it'd be really nice to have a label maker so that I could label the cables that are under here at the wall side, the plug-in, the power side, power strip side, whatever. And I was like, man, it'd be so nice to have a label maker to label these. I would love to be able to label all of the cables under my desk. Okay, so if we look here, it comes with that. This is 12 by 40 millimeters. I don't know what that 12 means, if I'm being honest. Didn't have one already. Because I would love to be able to do all of that, so I'd have a better idea of what I was unplugging. Man, that's such a good deal for that. 2024 model, household organization label maker, smaller but better, offering superior print clarity, resulting in smoother printing effects, faster processing, easy to use for quick home and school basic label making, which can also help labeling in school, perfect for back to school. Yeah, this one, outstanding. Wow. Yeah, definitely gonna have to get that, because that'll be awesome. Well, thank you guys for letting me know about that device. Oops, that's not what I meant to do at all. Tangents, man. Well, I've got that set, so I will take a look at that later. But probably gonna make sure that happens, because that's very cool. All right, let's see. Software updates, Coder. I don't know what that is. Secure environment for developers and their agents. Okay. Well, they got an AI bridge, an MCP server, tasks API, and workspace sharing, comic library utility, DocPeek, counts display, image pruning, registry link icon, theme dropdown, container health check. Interesting. We took a look at DocPeek not too long ago. Easily access your Docker container web interfaces and keep them up to date across all of your hosts. Oh yeah, sorry. I've looked at so much stuff that sometimes I have to remind myself what it looks like to make it work in my head better. That's cool. I'm glad they're still building stuff out on a lot of this stuff. Enduring lowercase usernames, new activity support, comprehensive sign-up support. More fitness stuff with FitTrack-E, filter workouts by location, MK Cert Web. What? Sorry, I'm hearing weird noises coming from parts of the house. Wanna Make sure everything is going okay in the house. Huh. All right, disregard. Web-based settings management, sensitive data protection. Slink, I think we took a look at Slink at some point. They got nested tag systems, multi-field uploads, or multi-file uploads, image deduplication, storage usage, tracking, and history grid view. That's cool. Stats for Strava, TinyAuth. Got a SQLite database for session storage, as well as domain mismatch warning, trusted proxies file server. Wow. Trip, uncloud, unregistry integration for improved distribution. Hoogle. Cool. Hoogle got a new update. That's great. And then for new stuff, we got Audio Deck, which is modern self-hostable web spectrogram analyzer for music libraries. I hope they do have pictures. Wow. Wow. Wow, this really shows kind of the difference between FLAC, lossless FLAC and MP3s as far as kind of where the cutoff is. That's neat. I dig that. It's not something I would use. I don't really have any use for it, but it's still kind of a cool idea. I dig that. What else we got? GPU Hot, real-time NVIDIA GPU monitoring dashboard. Oh wow. Wonder. That's pretty neat, actually. Just all GPUs. That's funny. Huh. I want to see what the Docker Compose looks like. See if there's anything else in there. No, you just got to build it, apparently, if it's not there. But then, wait, what? This needs to go into that Docker Compose, I would think. Requirements, Docker, and the NVIDIA Container Toolkit. That makes sense. Not too difficult, I don't think, to get installed. But that's cool. Much better than trying to run the... Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, is a nice dashboard for NVIDIA SMI. Basically, that's what it looks like to me. And it's a great looking dashboard. But I don't have any NVIDIA stuff running on a Docker server right now. But that's what it looks like, is an NVIDIA SMI dashboard, and that's great. Yeah, I like that it shows what driver you're on. That's really cool. And if you've got more than one GPU in here, it looks like you can toggle through them if there's more than one up there. No, that's great. That's a cool idea. I love that. Human-friendly language for building Home Assistant automation with hassle. Oops. Okay, this has got me curious. Home Assistant, simple scripting language. Yep, Hassle is a human-friendly domain-specific language for building loop-safe, deterministic, and composable automations for Home Assistant. It compiles lightweight Hassle scripts into fully functional YAML packages that plug directly into Home Assistant, replacing complex automation with clean, readable syntax. Interesting. Write logic. Write logic like natural language. If motion and lux is less than 50, then lights on. I've actually got this set up in my bedroom, something similar to that actually. Sync devices keep switches, dimmers, and fans perfectly in sync. Schedules declare time-based gates, enable from that time to that time. Loop safe, context ID. Pre-rule, enable gates. Disable rule, enable rule dynamically. Wait, no motion for 10 minutes, works like native HA triggers. Man. Oh, and here you're just setting variables. So if you reference the word light, it would be for Wesley's lamp, or motion, it would be Wesley's motion. When we're dealing with stuff inside of Home Assistant. Enable from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Rule Wesley motion light, wake hours. Huh. I think it's a very cool idea. I think it would take a little bit of time to get used to, And my concern with this would be, while this works for now, what would stop them from deciding not to anymore? And then you lose this. Huh. I don't know, kind of a cool idea. Iron mount web interface for mounting and managing remote storage as local volumes. Keep your volumes in check. Oh man, let's see. Keep all your volumes in check. One interface to manage all of your storage. Huh. Configuration, Docker backups. Iron Mountain is still in version 0.xx and is subject to major changes from version to version. Developing the core features and collecting feedback, expect bugs. Please open issues or feature requests. I'm glad that they said that, because very often I will see things going on with versioning that I think somebody is confused about. And I admit that it very well could be me, but I'll see, version 3.4.5 or whatever, but they're still calling it a beta when it's in version 3. And that bothers me. I don't feel like you should be in version 3 if you're still in beta. So I don't know, so anyway, my point is I'm glad that he's like, hey, this is still in 0 version. Be careful. Remember, you guys check your volumes before you wreck your volumes. That is true. That is true. Ronnie Coe says, how did you make that news and updates page? It's so cool. I didn't. This is not my website. This is Ethan Shawley, who made this newsletter and this website and the apps page and all of that. This is all by Ethan Shawley. He's actually he's been on the channel a few times. I've been on his channel once or twice. We do a collaboration once a year at the end of the year to talk about the self-hosted community survey that he's got right here. If you haven't done the survey yet, you should. I'm actually going to paste it in there. If you haven't done the 2025 newsletter survey, you should. It helps Ethan collect data and compile that data so that we can talk about it at the end of the year. I agree. Versioning is something that's all over the place in the open source community. Yeah, it is. And I hate seeing something that's, version 3 or version 4 or version 5 or whatever, that they're still calling a beta. You got to fix your versioning. If you're in version 3, it might be 0.3 and that's great, but not 3 point something as a beta based on my understanding of how that works. Same thing happened with Homer. For example, something that was pretty much a beta got released as 1.0, and I feel like there's a misunderstanding somewhere. And honestly, I saw it happening so frequently that I thought I had a misunderstanding of it for a long time. But I'm glad it's not me, mostly. Although I wish it was me, I wish I had a misunderstanding and that my misunderstanding could be corrected and that everybody else was right, but I don't think that's the case. Journal law, minimal journaling CLI for developers. Get back to terminal native, zero friction, just type journal and start writing. Interesting. Really hoping for some screenshots there, but it is what it is, as they say. Max money for market funds, investments, I don't care. I just don't. Mini, Relator, and personal knowledge management solution. Interesting. I wonder if they've got a... Oh, it's Swedish for memory, so that helps. We could definitely look into what that would be pronounced like. So personal knowledge management system for save it later application capturing, organization, and accessing your information, inspired by the Zettelkasten method. It uses a graph database to automatically create connections between your notes without manual linking overhead. That's really neat. Wow. All right. I have mixed feelings on the interface. I understand the retro vibe. It's just not my shtick. But again, I don't hate it. It's just, it's not, again, it's not my shtick as far as the aesthetic is concerned. Let's take a look at this read-only deployment. Because this is kind of neat. No, we're not going to do that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I don't hate the dark mode. I don't hate that at all. So we've got our dashboard. That's where we are. There's 3 documents, 38 text chunks, 19 knowledge entities, and 1 conversation. So if I open, oh, that pops open in a light box. The link opens there. Okay, that's the same as that. We can edit this. Okay. So here we're dealing with, was that like Markdown, it looks like? Yeah, I kind of dig this. Let's look at the knowledge area. Here we go. Wow. And we can kind of see how everything is a little bit tied together here. That's pretty neat. I don't know how this would work for like research or whatever. I guess it's kind of like that was it Always Sunny meme where dudes like got all the strings everywhere, kind of like that, but just this does all the strings for you automatically. So I kind of dig that. This was under knowledge. We got content. I guess one thing I'd like to see, just as a quick thought, is that whatever page you're on over here, like here we're on chat, if we go to content, it would be nice to see if that was, it would be nice if there was some way to mark that as active so that, you could see it. And I'm looking here at the code. Looks a little bit like Obsidian. Yeah, kind of. Boost true. So I'm looking through the like the classes to see if there's anything in here that that is different between them. There's not. It would be nice that, again, whatever page you're on would have an additional class of something like active, so that it would be lit up maybe as this same orange or something anyway that would let you know, hey, this is the page you're on. I know you can look up here, but again, I always like to see, I didn't even look down that far. I always like to know where I am by looking at the navigation over here. So I would like to see some sort of active class in the code. I closed it so that you could identify that and light this up. It's an Obsidian alternative. That's good to know. I might have to take a look at that because that looks pretty neat. Terminal-based RSS reader in Go. Not super interested in that. Know it. Minimal text focused blogging platform. Self-hostable notes and blog app. And again, no pictures. It bugs the crap out of me when there are no pictures, because this just feels like a, hey, go look at my blog. Just a simple picture. Weird. Omoid, offline capable photo and video library with AI features. SNI proxy, it's a reverse proxy, simple TCP proxying for net routing. Connections based on TLS SNI. Sonobar, music discovery via Last.fm with LiDAR integration. Tier list maker. Weird. It's a free open source online tool that helps you create, customize, and share tier lists for anything you want to rank. Oh, it's one of those. Okay, I don't hate it, I guess, but you can use Tweak CN theme editor to customize colors. So at least there's some theming going on there, which I appreciate. Just the one image. Looks like we've got Chinese and Japanese as options there as well. All right, well, not something I would use, but I don't hate it. Let's see, Tube Timeout. Parental control app for tracking and blocking YouTube usage on local networks. This might be interesting. YouTube, so they've got a website. This hasn't been touched really in 2 months. Interesting. Count YouTube users and block access when limits are reached. Apply daily, weekly, or time limits to any group devices. Works on all devices on your home network. Simple web UI to configure settings. No third-party JavaScript, cloud services, or apps required. Interesting. I mean, that's kind of a cool thing. I think I would also like to see not just YouTube. Would also like to see TikTok. All of the different video platforms, honestly, I'd like to see them available here. The problem is, of course, that if you change the DNS on your device to not be your local DNS, then this becomes a moot point. I think it's a great idea, but again, I'd like to see more platforms on there so that you get an hour of YouTube or an hour of TikTok or an hour of Instagram, Facebook, whatever, right? Or maybe you get 90 minutes and you can split that up however you want across those platforms, but then it tallies up everything together, and once you hit your limit, you're done. I think that'd be kind of a cool idea. Tugtainer, we kind of talked about a little bit already. Ultimate Audiobooks, all-in-one solution for processing audiobook files. Veld, database management backup tool and interface. Vicuña Voice Assistant, Wake LXC, smart proxy servicing for starting and stopping Proxmox LXCs based on incoming traffic. We did a video about this. Basically, via traffic. Okay. Did I misread that? No, I didn't. It says incoming traffic there, but it's via traffic here. Yeah, we did something. I did a video on this. There was something about lazy loading Docker containers a couple of years ago. I love the idea. I just wish it wasn't based on traffic. But again, I understand that it's got to have a back end in order to notice that. Link didn't come through how I thought. Link didn't come through how you thought. Yeah, take the surveys right there. Or maybe you're talking about something else. I don't know, man. Let's come back over to here. Recently discovered Atria, professional event management and networking platform. That's kind of cool. Audiobook request, file wizard, browser-based utility for file conversion and transcription. Imagor Studio, image gallery and live editing web app. On time, timers for event rundown, scheduling, and queuing. Interesting. What is this? Why? Oh, there we go. Okay. It's made by video engineers and entertainment technicians. All right. Finished the survey yesterday. Great stuff. Well, good. I'm glad you did the survey. Thank you for doing that. We genuinely all appreciate it. It's going to help. It's going to help us have a cool, hopefully a cool collaboration when we do the review of all that data. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pigeon Pod turned YouTube channels into podcasts. Private CAPTCHA. Independent privacy first CAPTCHA service. Huh. Project updates. We got Flint. Got moved over to a different account, I guess. Repository for Jelly Sear. Got moved over to Sear. NetGoat. It's reverse proxy. Again, a lot of these are just getting moved over. We got a different license on Pangolin. Plus, commercial plus AGPL3. And Revolt Chat got renamed to Stoat. Content Spotlight Meet Pigeon Pod. Would love to do a video about that, but again, YouTube would crap itself. And this videos and podcasts. What hardware runs my homelab in 2025? That's mine. Really glad that video did pretty well. Ben from Snack Times, plan your adventures with Trip. Readar is broken. Reading glasses fixes it fast. Welcome to Silver Bullet Part 1. Basic markdown and outlines with Zeph. And when Unraid OG meets Ibra Corp and Space Invader 1. That's cool. That's good. I'm glad that they're doing that. Craig McIntosh says, just woke up my afternoon sleep since I've had health issues, but we'll watch the replay. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're at least stopping by to say hi. I'm sorry to hear that you're not doing well with your health. I know how rough that can be, both physically and mentally, especially after any given amount of time. It can be rough. So I hope you start feeling better soon. Or if it's not one of those situations, I hope your stuff is well managed. I know that sometimes a get well soon doesn't mean dick when there's no getting well soon. So whatever your case is, I hope you're doing all right. I have mental health issues too, 4 brain injuries. Holy crap, dude. That sucks, man. I'm really sorry to hear that. I had an episode of PRESS, which is an encephalopathy thing, back in 2016 that caused some lesions on my brain. So that's really my brain injury thing, but I hope that they're helping you get through some of that. Dropped in to say your channel means the world to me. Well, thank you, Craig. I really appreciate you saying that. I really do. Again, I hope things are being managed to the best that they can be. Your channel makes me see that I can still move forward. I'm glad to hear that, but like, please don't compare your situation to mine. I don't know, and I don't want you to discuss it here necessarily, because I know that can be a private thing. So I've got this other channel. Let's come over here and just talk about this for a minute. So I've got this other channel that I've renamed like DV Med stuff, and I used it initially as a way to kind of keep in touch with my family back in 2016 when I was in the hospital dealing with all my stuff. And then after that, I used it to kind of give updates on my journey as well. And I had several people reach out to me for different reasons about their own things that they had going on with their medical stuff, and the things of people in their lives who have also had, who've been in comas, who have dealt with some of the same stuff that I had. The problem with that ended up being that people would reach out to me about stuff that had nothing to do with my condition, and they were trying to correlate that to their condition or the condition of their loved one. And they would see that like, oh, you were in 4 medically induced comas. So, my significant other is in a coma, and I see that you're doing well, so he's going to do well. And it's like, I genuinely hope that that's the case, but it all depends on the person, the condition, what got you there, your medical team. There's so many different factors that play into all of that. And one of my biggest issues that I had in 2016 when I was hospitalized for 5 or 5.5 months or whatever it was that I had to bring my mental health up to my doctor. I had to be the one to be like, hey, could we do something about how I'm feeling here? They were good about helping me manage pain. They were good about keeping me alive for the most part. There was a couple of times that they didn't, but they brought me back, so that was neat. But one of the issues that I've experienced myself is that hospitals, medical doctors, and I'm making a huge generalization here. I don't want to offend anybody in the field, but from my experience, hospitals and medical doctors, their job is to make sure that your body keeps working. And they don't really focus enough on the mental health aspects of what's going on. And I get it that they're two separate professions, and I can appreciate and respect that. But I had been in the hospital for more than 3 months. At that point, I'd been in 3 medically induced comas. I had been dealing with ICU delirium as a result of those comas. My mental health was circling the drain because of having been in the hospital so long and not knowing necessarily what my diagnosis was, and not knowing when or if I was ever going to get to go home, and I was like, bro, can we do something about this? So they finally brought somebody in to talk to me a little bit, and they gave me something to help with the depression. Oh, thank you so much. She brought me hot tea with lemon and honey. Thank you. So anyway, I was dealing with, I was dealing with a lot, and so anyway, I had this other channel where I was explaining things, I was talking about things, and people were very, very much trying to correlate everything that I had been through with what they had been through, what their loved one had been through, was going through, or whatever. And it's I was unintentionally giving people a false sense of hope, because they were trying to just say, oh, well, you went through this, and it was worse than what my significant other is going through, so they'll be fine. Well, worse is relative, and I don't know anything about your condition or your loved one's condition. So I eventually had to make a video about the unintended consequences of running that channel. And it's honestly kind of put me off about talking about the medical stuff on that channel so much, though I would love to. I would love to do more talking about my stuff on that channel, but oh, that's really good. But I don't want to unintentionally give people a false correlation. I just don't. And I'm not saying, Craig, and I want to be clear, I'm not trying to say that you are. But it's an issue that I've run into in the past. I want to go back. It says, I got my brain injuries from stopping another being physically hurt. I stopped a guy from being stabbed and got 26 bottles smashed on my skull, resulting in scarring on the brain. Holy crap, dude. Jorge Gomez says, morning all, glad you could be here. Very opening about my conditions as it helps other, no problem mentioning. Thank you, I appreciate that. Heart attack, stopping 3 girls smashing up a shop, and heart attack ended up with hypoxia and brain damage from oxygen starvation. Dude, hypoxia sucks. When I was first admitted in February of 2016, I was in a room. It was shortly after I was admitted, and I had my cannula on, so for the oxygen and whatnot. And it was like the first day or two that I was there, and I was having a really, really hard time breathing. And I hit my call button, that they gave me, and I was like, hey, I'm having a hard time breathing. Help. Nurse came in and she looked at me and she's like, you're just having a panic attack. Just relax, give it 10 minutes, you'll be fine. So I did everything I could. I waited the 10 minutes. I hit my button again. It's like, I still can't breathe. I need help. She's like, no, you're still just having a panic attack. You're fine. Relax. This isn't a big deal. You're just freaking out. And so I waited a few more minutes and I hit my button again. I was like, I can't breathe. I need you to do something. So she grabbed my cannula because it was like, under the blankets because I was all covered up. And she grabbed my cannula and pulled it out, and it wasn't plugged into anything. And so they put an oxygen saturation thing on my finger and realized I was saturating at 46. So they got me hooked up to like 3 or 4 liters of oxygen. They got me back up a little bit, realized that wasn't going to work. So they brought me up until they found something that worked. I never saw that nurse again. Because she let me go that low before she actually made an effort. And I had words with the doctors about it. My wife had words with the doctors about it. We never saw her again. Hypoxia sucks. It's bad for your brain, both short-term and long-term. Sucks. Ask Einstein, everything is relative. That is true. Oh, man. Mandy says, I've been hanging around here for a while and wanted to say hi too. Well, I'm glad you did. Let's see. That's just 2 of them. Got them from living up to my dad told me it makes a man. Evil triumphs when good men stand back and do nothing. I've always really liked that saying. This is see you later says this is triggering. Gotta go. Sorry that's triggering for you. Like I don't know what your personal situation is. See you later, but just talking about my own personal situation in conjunction with Craig and his stuff. Again, I apologize if it's triggering for you. It wasn't my intention. Craig says, so your step-by-step videos always allowed me to do things on my home lab. Well, I'm really glad that that was the case. It's funny, and I guess I can kind of wrap up the hospital stuff with this. When I was in the hospital, I received 2 or 3 tracheotomies because I had to be intubated for extended periods of time, and it's really bad for your throat to have that tube like down there. So that often they'll cut a hole in your throat. Like you can still kind of see the scar right there. That's been opened up a few times, and they put a hole there. They put a thing in it so they could just pump air directly into me. And as a result of that, I had to learn to talk again. This isn't my original voice. If you guys aren't familiar, I can show you this. YouTube DB med stuff. Yeah. So yeah, my last updates were about a year ago here on the channel. I want to make sure. Yeah, let me do this. So if I go to videos, if you guys have been watching this channel for a while, right, you'll be familiar with the voice that you're hearing right now, or some slight variation of it depending on how I'm feeling, right? And I made this video February of, it was like early to mid-February 2024. Sorry, 2016. I don't know why I said 24. So I'm gonna pause this for just a second. This is the very first video that I made. When was February 17th? I was hospitalized exactly a week later. And I'm actually going to put up some audio here. It may be a little bit quiet. We can adjust as we go. I'm just going to play a little bit of this. This is what my voice sounded like before. So that's what my voice used to sound like, and not coming through. Really? didn't it? No audio passing through. That's so strange.
Kind of document a journey that I'm getting ready to go.
Hold on. Oh, hold on. It should have been.
So, I guess I should explain that. 2 years ago, I was weighing.
Are we really not getting any audio on that?
200 pounds. I felt good. I looked good.
Hold on one second. I need to check something else here too. Weird. I can't hear. That's so strange. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me look at my properties here. Default. Headphones. Hold on. Maybe this.
Everybody was happy, including me. 2 days ago, I got on the scale at 246.9 pounds. Not feeling great, lots of aches and pains, just generally lethargic, getting sick more often, and realized that I can't do this anymore. I can't keep just saying, well, I'll deal with it later. I will change my diet as a New Year's resolution. I will do this at this point. I'll change something about what I'm trying to do at a later time. 246.9 pounds is the heaviest I've ever recorded myself at. And
so anyway, I don't know if you guys can hear that. If not, I'll just share it here if you ever want to take a look at it. But that's okay. That was better. Okay, good. I wasn't sure. But yeah, after that happened, literally exactly a week later, but basically like a week after that video was made, I was hospitalized. I didn't realize I was actually dying in that video. And like, this is...
Hey guys, thought I'd try something different today. I know we've been doing a lot of the, just the status updates, but wanted to try this. I apologize for the voice. That's just how it is right now. There's nothing I can do about it. But wanted to let you know I'm out of ICU. I'm in a step-down unit. They're doing some more.
So that was May of 2016. So I'd already been in the hospitals February, so March, April. I've been at hospital about that was kind of like the 3-month mark right there. Collins, thank you for donating 5 gift memberships. That was really nice of you. I promise I'm not showing this for sympathy. The reason I wanted to bring this up was that because I'd been trached a couple of times, when I got out of the hospital and once I kind of got back on my feet, literally, because I had to learn how to walk again as well, I had to continue to learn how to talk. Because after I'd been trached twice, my vocal cords had been damaged a little bit, and that's why my voice sounds so much different now than it did back then. So one of the speech therapists came in and asked me what I liked to do, and I was like, "Hey, I really like to make YouTube videos where I review products." So she would actually bring products in for me to review, or she would, if she forgot something that day, she would grab some random thing and ask me to review it, just as part of my recovery, my therapy, and that sort of thing. Because my lungs were garbage, my throat was garbage. So I was having to learn a new cadence of talking. So I would have to learn how to breathe differently while my lungs were still recovering. And they never fully recovered. My lungs are still garbage. But she was teaching me how to talk conversationally while dealing with all of this other nonsense that was going on. So when I got out of the hospital, that was why I started making videos. Again, just reviewing stuff at first, making how-to videos on virtualization, like virtualizing inside of Windows with third-party apps and that sort of thing. So it was very much. I continued to make videos to help my voice recover, to help me recover more. It was therapeutic more than anything else when I got back into making videos. After my hospitalization and my recovery journey and that sort of thing. And then I made a couple of videos that really took off, and I was like, oh, I could actually do this. So I did, and I've really enjoyed making content, and it always makes me happy to know that that I was able to take something that literally killed me twice and kind of turn it around, and while I was in that recovery process, find something that I enjoyed doing, and then kind of take it farther by learning more about other things I didn't know about, and then be like, oh, I really like I really enjoyed setting up this Plex server. I could make a video about that, and I did. And then it was like, oh, well, I could make a video about like how I got to that point, because that would make sense. And I kind of did everything wrong to start with. And I'm still screwing things up considerably. But back then I was very much, I would learn something and I would find something I really enjoyed, and I would learn it, and I would tear it down and do it again, and tear it down and do it again, and tear it down and do it again. And then I'd make a video about it. And that's how I made most of my first 2 years worth of videos. It wasn't necessarily that I had a full understanding of what was going on. It's just I'd built it and torn it down and built it and torn it down so many times that I knew what the hiccups were going to be. And as a result, I could talk about those things as I went. So it's been a process, and I've really enjoyed some of that process. I've hated some of the process as well, but I've really enjoyed a lot of the process. So, see, Craig says, because I have a degree in computing and a master's degree in marketing from before my health issues, my doctor suggested I get back into computing for my recovery. I think that's brilliant. I love that. I wish I had done... some of my doctors very much encouraged me to do that. Other doctors can encourage other things. But that's very cool. I think it's great that you've got multiple degrees like that. I don't have a degree in anything. I went to ITT Tech for a year and realized I was wasting my money. So no, everything that I've learned or whatever has been a direct result of my ADHD, which was only diagnosed earlier this year. Christ, it's only been earlier this year it was diagnosed. So yeah. So I'm still plugging along. Like, I still have my good days. I still have my bad days, and I'm trying to figure out how to balance those still. The new combination of meds that I'm on helps quite a bit. But we're still all human. We still have our bad days, and we still have our good days, and we just hope that the good ones outweigh the bad ones. Jonas says it's nice when a YouTuber makes a mistake and shows it in their video. That makes us human. I agree. There have absolutely been videos where I've deliberately been like, we're going into this raw. I don't have any idea what's going to happen here. We're just going to dig through this together and see how this installation process goes. And I show some of the troubleshooting steps that I go through, and that sort of thing. And it's been, those videos are fun for me to make. I hate editing those videos because I want to cut out all of the nonsense, right? My brain's just like, make this clean. But I like making those kinds of videos because, like you said, it humanizes all of that. It's not everything is clean. Not everything is flawless. Not everything goes as we plan. So I try to leave those kinds of things in, or if I remove them, or if I plan on removing them later during the edit, I will try to call attention to that when I'm doing the recording. So I'm definitely aware of that, and it's kind of a double-edged sword, because there are some people that complain that I talk too much in my videos. And there are other people that really like when I talk in my videos and I explain things in depth in my videos and that sort of thing. And I've had a lot of people be like, well, just make 2 videos then. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't, like, I can't release 2 unless I made like a short, right? I don't know how long shorts can be anymore. YouTube, how long can shorts be? Shorts can be up to 3 minutes long. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should have just a stupid short thing. Yeah. Except I don't like vertical video for tutorials. I think that's my problem. I don't know. Maybe that's what I should do, is make 3 minute versions of those videos. That's just like, here's how to install it. Here's the stuff you need to know. Here's a link to the longer video. Maybe I should try that. Maybe that can be a plan for next year, because I've still got a lot of stuff to get through this year before I try to implement that. Jonas says, I've destroyed my Proxmox a couple of times. That's how we learn. I agree with that. The long-term project I jump in and out of, trying to build my own Jarvis into my home lab. That's cool. I kind of had that with these. I've also got, so this is the Home Assistant voice thing. I've got another something. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I might have moved it over here. Is that it? Yeah. But then also the folks at Seed Studio, Seed with 3 E's, sent me this kit, and this becomes a self-hosted version, or a more self-done version of this, and I liked the idea behind it, but I ran into too many issues with the firmware. And I ended up scrapping it, and then I ended up shutting down my entire AI server anyway. So, see. Never used Proxmox. My Docker is directly on my little refurbished PC. That's cool. Like I use it. I like Proxmox for the backups and that sort of thing. That's really what it's about for me. And I really like the interface. I like being able to clone my LXCs. There's a lot of things about Proxmox that I love, but I totally get going bare metal. Karthik says, next time do some MCQ or examine self-hosted containers. We spent quite a bit of time looking at different containers. I'm sorry you missed that. But please don't tell me how to run my live streams. This is my live stream. If you want to dictate what goes into a live stream, go make your own. We're having a conversation here about all kinds of things, as we have been for 1 hour and 59 minutes. So there you go. Vaz says, I love today's shirt. By the way, yeah, wife and I went and we went and spent a bunch of money on T-Turtle here a while back. And yeah, big fan of this one. She said when she saw this one, she immediately thought live stream. So Coding Lemur says, thanks for your videos, inspired me to install lots of useful self-hosted stuff. Well, that is awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Smart, the Atom Echo, and now I gotta look that up. I really like, wow, that's tiny. How's the quality on the T-Turtle? Dude, they're brilliant. This is, I think, my second or third round of like a big order of like 5 shirts or something. But they feel really, really nice. They're not too thick. They're not too thin. They, some of them are softer than others, depending on which ones you get. But they're so much fun. Like their designs are fun. The company's great. Let's just do this. Just quickly, I guess. We've also looked at possibly getting, I'm not a psychopath, the chaotic, yeah, dude, they've got such good stuff in here. And officially licensed stuff, from different big brands, just so much. I'm not procrastinating. I'm doing side quests. I've got so many of these are good. But yeah, if you're looking for good quality shirts, I've had a lot of really good luck with T-Turtle. They've almost always got a sale of some variety going on. You know, it's definitely worth a look, and they're not sponsoring me. I really like their products. But you know, you can, a lot of times you can get like packs of shirts for different things. Wow, all right. But you know, like you can do, I mean, they don't just have shirts. They've got, well, this is, oh yeah, there's this one. But they've also got, you know, other stuff, mugs, plushies, which I love. And the other thing that I really like about them, if you open this up, yeah, you can do a black or white, or you can change the size on them as well. So anyway, that's T-Turtle, big fan. Sorry, I want to go back to this because this intrigues me. I want to find from. Let's go to looking at it from them. Let's go to here. $15, huh? So Wi-Fi speaker, microphone. It's got a button. It's got IR. Transmit. Wow, I'm curious about that. That looks really neat. Looks like it's got a spot so you can plug additional sensors into it. Obviously USB-C powered. Yeah, that looks really neat. It's a programmable IoT voice interaction controller designed for intelligent voice control and human computer interactions and scenarios. It's powered by the ESPS3 Pico. Supports 2.4 gig Wi-Fi as you would expect. Comes with 8 megs of flash and 8 megs of PS RAM. That's pretty cool. I would have curiouses about. I would wonder about how it does with like how loud is it, and how well does it do like voice isolation if you're in kind of a noisy room. Those would be my two big questions. And for $15, man, you can't really beat that. And I would imagine that it's got an integrated Class D amplifier. It's got a microphone. Yeah, expandable pins and interfaces, infrared transmitter. Yeah, and it seems like you could probably then, with ESP32 stuff, attach it to Home Assistant. So that could be kind of cool. I dig that. Flameberg, so I'm going back to Flameberg from a few minutes ago, a couple of minutes ago. I had to step away. Are we getting your merch soon? I don't know. There was an issue with one of the designs, which was fine. They've sent some stuff to me. I don't know what. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know anything about it. I want to get my hands on it, and then they're going to help me build out the back end of it. So I'm hoping soon that'll be the case. I don't know when that's going to happen. Because I would love to have merch. Like, I love that you guys are willing to support me with channel memberships and Patreon and donations here on the live streams and that sort of thing. I love that. But I also would like it if you guys got something out of the deal. So we're working on it in the background. They emailed me the other day to let me know that there was one of the designs wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work out, or that they're working on it in the background. They're going to save that for another drop or whatever. Apparently the software that they're having issues with, I don't know, man. I don't think it should be that hard to figure it out, but I don't know how their design process works in the back end. So they're going to send me some stuff, and we're going to take a look. at that sort of thing. I'm really excited about having some actual merch. I think that'll be fun. Let's see. Buy from the US. Oh, some companies don't ship to the UK. Yeah, and I don't know if I want to buy anything from the US right now anyway, but that's whatever. The Atom Echo, it's cool. I'm going back. I'm reading this thing about the speaker we were just looking at. It's cool trying to get it into my Home Assistant. Yeah, I'd be curious about how that would work. I would think the ESP32 dashboard would work, at least for the initial connection. Beyond that, I wouldn't have any idea. Congrats on nearly 100,000. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm hoping within the next 30 to 45 days, we'll hit that 100,000 mark. We're currently at 99,421 people who have subscribed, and that blows my mind. Never would have expected anything like that. Just good stuff. I'm real excited about that. I'm hoping to be able to do a live stream as we get real close to that. I tried to do a live stream when I got close to the 50,000 mark, and people unsubscribed from the channel. Like I lost subscribers on that live stream. I'm actually curious about that. I'm gonna go back and take a look. Obviously, we've come back from it, but that live stream really hurt my feelings. So I've been really contemplating not doing that. Let's see. I'm going to pop both of these open. Oh, they weren't real subscribers. And I kind of agree with that. And it was, it was a good way to, yeah, there's that one. And then for some reason I had like two. Let's go back over to here. Let's do this. Yeah. So when was this? It was October 7th of 2022. So 3 years and 3 days ago from right now. Yep, I lost 7 subscribers as a result of doing that live stream that I was really excited about. Like I was really excited about, there's 4, weird, I don't know. But I was really excited about hitting that milestone, like I was 110 away, you can see right there. And to just, 890. It was kind of a bummer to watch those numbers, go down. Instead of there were some up, there was some down, but after a couple of hours, I was pretty sad. So I just shut it down. So we'll see what happens. I'm still trying to decide how I'm going to handle that sort of thing. Don't do 100,000 video, but use that to launch your merch. I might. That's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good idea. That's my problem, is I'm not a marketing person at all. I don't know. I'm just not a marketing person at all. So I'm definitely relying on other people to help me with ideas, and I kind of feel like a jerk for that because I feel like I'm taking advantage of people, and I hate feeling like that. Whether they feel like I am or not, I often do. And it makes me unhappy with myself. So I still have my marketing brain. That's awesome. Yeah, I wish I had more of a marketing brain. I don't. I've never been that person. So, oh, man. But I do think I'm going to start wrapping this up, because my throat's starting to not feel great. So, yeah. But like I said, I've got some more content coming. This is 100,000 play button unbox, new merch stream. Maybe something like that's a good idea. Don't have a market free. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I want to thank you guys again, like always, for your awesome support. You guys are amazing, and I really appreciate you hanging out with me and that sort of thing. So, yeah, Craig, if you don't mind, if you feel the urge, whatever. That's my email address. It's just david@dvtechreviews.com. You can also find it on my YouTube channel. It's just I've added something to it. Message me if you want. I don't want to take advantage. I don't. But if you got ideas you want to throw at me, I'm happy to chat about it. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you'll check out whatever new content I come out with this week. And of course, we'll hopefully this throat thing will hopefully clear up by next weekend, and we can do this again. And we'll chat about some more stuff there too. So hope again that you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.